Well, it is your time, the media. I think there are a few questions you may have. Huh? Yes, okay. There are two mics, one left, one right, and so forth. So you would like to open, but you're aware, and I would like to give special congratulations and thanks to the Honorable Ralph T. O'Neill, the chairman of the Virgin Islands Party, for his tireless effort. When the history of the Virgin Islands, well, it is written in some regards, but as it continues, he'll be featured quite prominently for his work, not only in the private field, but as a civil servant and through every rank that there is in public service. And he will be featured quite prominently when this history is written.
Yes, good afternoon, Walter Barr, JTV News. We just want to get some confirmation in terms of if it has been decided that who will actually be the leader of the opposition. Would this continue to be the former premier?
There's going to be a meeting later with the party as relates to with the members as it relates to that question in terms of leader of the opposition and so forth. So, Mr. Premier, sorry, Honorable Ralph T. O'Neill, is there anything further you'd like to add on that?
Yes, just to say, you cannot have a leader of the opposition until the governor appoints him, according to the Constitution. The members of the opposition will have to make a recommendation to His Excellency the Governor. And that hasn't been done yet. So as soon as they make the recommendation, the Governor will make the appointment.
Okay, thank you. John Lewis from ZBBI, I think.
John Lewis, ZBBI Radio. Mr. O'Neill, if the members of the opposition recommend you, will you take up that post as leader of the opposition?
Members do so. I will follow. Yeah.
Okay, did you get that? You say if the others do so, he will follow and obey. Are those the words?
Yes.
Those are the words. Any further questions?
Mr. O'Neill, where do you think the Virgin Islands Party lost the government? What do you think went wrong? Why the party lost?
It's a simple answer. It's people's choice. And the people choose to elect the NDP. So, and that is the way democracy works. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes even like in England now we got a coalition. People are very difficult to predict, you know.
Some of the members who spoke a while ago said that the NDP had a more aggressive campaign. Do you think that the VIP did not have an aggressive campaign enough, or the NDP campaign is more structured, that the people accepted more what the NDP was saying than what the VIP portrayed or put forward?
Well, that is again obvious. That is obvious. That people accepted the NDP rather than the VIP, the majority of the people.
Carmelita Jameson, Virgin Islands News Online. This question can apply to anyone who can answer. A number of persons have been saying that some of the main reasons for the loss of the Virgin Islands Party, it relates to infighting in the party among elected members, the Bywater project, the Johnson Gut, among other projects. Can someone please comment on that?
Everyone heard that? Did you? The first part of the question, I'm not sure. The very first part.
Okay. I'm saying that there are a number of persons who are attributing the loss of the Virgin Islands Party to several reasons, and among those include the Bywater contract, the Bywater project, infighting among elected members, and the Johnson got, the personal project got, among other things. And I'm asking for a comment in that regard from anyone.
Okay, who would like to? Anyone would like to hit that up?
I think whatever it discussed, was nice back to lose would always be a debate from now till the kingdom come. So it wouldn't be wise for us to get into that all the time. We just need to internally look and see in the areas where we need to improve and improve upon them. It's hard to go when you lose. It's just like playing a basketball game and say that this one particular moment in the game is what lost it for us. There might be a moment that turned it around. So it's just up to us to go and review the whole thing. Because it's easy at this time when you lose to point fingers. But other than the introspection we have to do, in the retrospection we have the introspection that we have to do. Because each of us, including myself, have to look within and see how we can improve as a party and how we can improve as individuals. So I think it would not be wise for us if we want to have a bright future in the Man's Party to be singling out any one person, singling out any one item. We just look at it in a holistic view and improve.
Don't you think it's important, though, to acknowledge to some extent to the people in the areas that probably, if not now, but maybe later on, that you guys could have gone wrong in terms of moving forward?
Well, it's just like you go to a family and a family has issues they have to work out. I don't think that when they get in a family meeting that they would ignore the issues, but it won't be wise for the family to get out his dirty laundry to everybody else, because that is what you curate the sort of our family. So it's up to us when we get together to trash out and iron out what we need to iron out. And we be man enough, not in terms of a gender, but man enough to look at areas that we would need to look at. Probably when we get speaking, we might find out that it is something other than what you're saying, But I think that when people sit down inside as a party family, we would iron out the issues we need to iron out. That's not saying that you're going to ignore anything.
Yes, to add my 2 cents back to the question posed by Virgin Avenue reporter. I'm not sure if you want to call it infighting, that's a good word to call it, but one of my main concerns is the parliamentary process and practice, and that the stages of that were not completely adhered to, and I feel very strongly that if we adhere to most of the stages in that parliamentary process and the practice, that we will be better informed, because we know, we can't fool the public anymore. Information was short and coming, especially being on the back bench from where I sit. And the opportunity for information had to be through the caucus situation, which I was a member of, before things go to the Legislative Council. And I feel that adherence of that parliamentary process and practice was not totally complied with. And hence, I don't know if you want to call it infighting, but I find that the process was not completely adhered to.
Gordon French, BVI Platinum News. I heard a lot of the candidates and the representatives say that they're going to support the government. My question is to Honorable Fraser. One of the earliest announcements we heard yesterday was that the Bywater project will be put on hold. Is this something that you support, sir?
I didn't hear it, so I can't comment on it.
But it is reported, sir.
I didn't hear it, so I can't report on that. I can't comment on it.
Mr. Fraser, since your political career, I think this is one of the biggest fights you would have had. Did you anticipated such a fight in this election, and what do you think carried you home?
What did I think brought me home?
What did you anticipate such a fight in this election? From your rival.
Well, I don't know if I would characterize it as such a fight. I've never been Well, yeah, I've been close. My opponent has gotten closer to me in the past than they did now. I won my first election by 26 votes. You just came late. You saw me in my glory days. So that's how you feel. But to be honest with you, of all elected district representatives, I still got the most votes. And I got more votes this time than I did the last time. So I don't feel anyway.
Were you scared?
No, I was not. Never ever scared. I'm not scared now either.
Davin Jackson, Zero News. 5 of 9 district seats, 0 of the 4 at-large seats. Do you think this was as a result of the perception that the VIP did not give the district representatives any specific tasks to complete? The perception that the at-large candidates were seen to be sitting on their hands.
This is not the first time that the NDP has won all 4 territorial seats. And, you know, history has a way of repeating itself. Last government, there was a 11-2 majority. Right now it's something like 9-4. There's hope.
Malika McPherson, the Island Sun newspaper. Honorable Fraser, you said earlier in your comments that being in the opposition is still a good role, more or less. And on the campaign trail, you spoke about the need and how important the Public Accounts Committee was. In your new position now as an opposition member, would you be advocating for the re-establishment of that committee?
I mean, if you talk about opposition, you talk about Public Accounts Committee, that's it. Pinnacle, that's what the opposition is all about. And I think that anyone who knows us from our stint in the opposition, 2003 to 2007, know that we were a formidable opposition, and our record in the Public Accounts Committee is there for the public to see. And I expect nothing less from the team when we get back to do our work. Without that is one of the things that I regretted in our last administration. We did not, our feet were not held to the fire as I expected as a government by the opposition. That's what makes a government good. And we were not afforded that luxury of being held, or feet being held to the fire by the opposition as a government. We were not as good a government as we could have been had it been done the right way.
Just to follow up, during the 2003 to 2007 administration, I recall the opposition being referred to as Her Majesty's loyal opposition. Can we expect to start hearing that term again soon?
We'll always be loyal to Her Majesty.
This question is to Mr. Hodge. Mr. Hodge, after 32 years being representative for the 6th district, you are no longer the representative for the 6th district. What do you think went wrong that made you lose that seat in the 3rd district, in the 6th district? And secondly, is it that for you? Will you be retiring?
Well, when it comes to election, I don't want to go into what has caused me to lose. I respect the people so much, and all I can do is to thank them for those who voted for me and those who have not. Because whatever they had in their mind at that time, I was not able to know. But as time goes by, we will hear, the people will utter their words of expressions to say why they have voted me. I didn't hear the other question.
Is it that for you? Will you be retiring from politics?
Yeah, I think it's time because I had this term slated at my last term. And I've been fighting for 32 years, and I will sit and watch. And if I have to support in the next general election, that I will do. But right now I don't have in my mind as to be fighting again as a candidate. I don't feel that way. That will be up to the people when the time comes. Because politics It's about people. When they said go, you go. When they said come, you come. So you got to wait for them. You know, when they're able to compare representation, that'd be another hallelujah at the end. So I wait.
This question is directed to the Honorable Ralph T. O'Neill. Mr. O'Neill, could you say, sir, a lot of people are talking about you retiring at some point in time. Have you thought about that after the elections? Have you thought about it?
Well, I'll tell you, I did not come here to watch you all. And I know I have to depart someday. So, when the time is up, I will retire.
Just a follow-up. Do you have a time frame in mind, or is this something that you wait for the party to decide?
When the time is up, I will retire. I'm not going to wait for the party to push me out or for anybody to push me home. I think with the help of my master, I abandoned my life.
Mr. Harrigan, I believe for some people it was a surprise that you lost the seat in the 5th district. What do you think happened why you lost the seat?
Let me bow the balls from Omaha. You depend on people to vote you in after you've given them your message, your views, what issues you want to hear and how you will represent them. It is up to the people to elect you and not you yourself. So the people have spoken, and I listen to the people. To say that I lost for this reason or that reason, you would probably find 100 reasons after today, next week, next 2 weeks, next month, next few years. But there's always a reason why things are done. And I would just like to say I respect the views of the people and their wishes. And their wish was to replace me with Dolores Christopher, and I accepted that in quick fashion. And I really, like I said in my statements that I made, really would like to move on and see this country continue to develop. That is my utmost view, and I think it is important for all of us to understand that that these are difficult times. I'm not joking about it at all, and we all need to put our foot to the fire and develop this country. I think the politics is the campaign is over. I think the healing process needs to begin. I think it's going to be a difficult one because this is one campaign that I have seen gone to levels that concern me. And when you involve churches in a campaign like this, normally after the campaign, you look to the churches to help you. But the churches are being very heavily involved in this campaign, so who knows? So I would like to see the healing process begin because we don't have much time to continue to develop this country because things are moving rapidly globally and we are learning really quickly because I also believe a lot of people in this territory believe that we existed in isolation. So we quickly find out that we don't, and the global events are affecting us, and they will continue to do that. So I really don't want to get into too much politics. I have no intention of leaving the BVI, and so I would like to see it prosper, and I would like to do my best to assist anyone and the government to see the BVI prosper. It's a serious situation that we have.
Okay, we are under some time constraints coming up now. So, what? 2 more questions?
My question is for Mrs. Penn O'Neill. During your term, you had become an advocate for children with special needs. Can we expect to continue to see you in that role?
Most certainly. As I said, I was just knocked out, but not knocked down. I was knocked down, but not, I was knocked out, yes, of the race, but I was not knocked down. Okay? Oh, I was knocked down. Let me correct myself. I was knocked down, yes, but I'm not knocked out of the political career or race. I am very much going to stay involved. I am going to really work very closely with the ministries, organizations, non-profitable organizations, government organizations, support the cause for all the areas that I have campaigned on, because they're dear to my heart. And not because that I'm not elected mean that I have to just sit on the sideline now. I think it is more incumbent on me now to really show that my words should mean more, my actions should depict what I was speaking for the last 4 years. So yes, I will be certainly staying involved in those areas.
Yeah, we'll have a final question.
Yeah. If I could ask, as a team, do you all think that you all have listened enough and paid attention enough to the voice of the people? Do you think that the voice of the people played enough of a role in your own campaigns, your own planning, your own decision making, and what you went out there and actually did during the campaign?
Well, I guess we thought that we didn't, but the results show we didn't. So it's as simple as that. We just have to listen a little more. And not only listen, but adjust what we do to based on what we've been told. So you just have to make adjustments. We have nothing to be ashamed of. We have some work to do. We just have to do it. As I said, it's as simple as that. I'm not going to get into the other things in any specific details or any finger pointing. All of us, have to improve. So it's as simple as that.
With regards to your question, I would say that it was evident to me in the campaign, now after the end result came out, that the National Democratic Party were able to convey to their supporters the need to vote straight party. They voted straight party line, and that is why one of the reasons that all the 4 at-large candidates were able to come in for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And when I saw where I was struggling and juggling between 3rd and 4th place with one of the at-large candidates, I recognized that based on the strength in their districts and the difficulties that we had, was this time you couldn't tell which box was being opened, which district was being opened, so you didn't know. But when you hear the district candidates count, you know that you had no hope to be in that top 4. So they were able to convey that message versus us, where I find that some of our people split their votes and caused us to be where we are today. And that should be a lesson learned to our people and our supporters as well. So.
Okay, I'd like to thank you. But as I mentioned before, and all through the campaign, that the economies of first world nations are crumbling even as we speak. So economics must play a part in terms of determining government and the decisions people make from time to time. We also mentioned that you will debate what went wrong for quite a while, but everything was not right, or else we would not be talking here from the opposition, would be in that of the particular government. So there's a time to reflect and to see exactly what the particular vote said. From Anegada to Jocelyn Dyke, we've gone to the villages, we've gone to the homes of many. The voters came from near and afar, from the USVI, from all through UK, from the United States of America, and the voices were heard and heard loudly. So we would not and cannot pretend as if there wasn't anything that was done. And we cannot pretend it was all right and nothing was wrong, because the results doesn't show that. So we have to be mindful to go and to reflect and to see exactly where we can do this and do better. And we have a Virgin Islands to build, we have economy to build, we have challenges as we go, and look in terms of the relationship the Virgin Islands have with the United Kingdom, and when that is portrayed out, later this month, then there's a new relationship that could well emerge, and so forth. So we'd like to thank you very much for coming out, for being a part of this press conference, and as we forge ahead. For those of you who tuned in late, we did have apologies from District 8. No conclusions can be drawn. She had prior engagement that she could not break at this time. So we'd like to, again, thank the people of District 8 for their support, congratulate Mr. Marlon Penn for his victory at the polls on our behalf, and we'd like to make sure that from District 1 through 9, that we build this Virgin Islands to one we will always and continue to be proud of. Any further words?
To repeat thanks to all the voters, especially throughout the district. Thank to all the voters throughout the BVI, from Menegada to Johnson Lakes, across to Salt Island, Tatula, Ojigawara, and Marina Keek, Guana Island, Great Commanders. All there we have voters settled, and we thank them very much for coming out and having such a high percentage to turn out. And we would like the voters, the people, to keep up their interest in government activities and to learn more and more about government as it functions. I think it's time to, as one speaker said, the global situation is not yet as good as we would like it to be. We were told that it would get better during 2011. We saw signs, but again now we see signs of a downward trend again. So we ask the people to keep vigilant and listen good to the activities of government as they fight with this global problem. Thank you very much for listening, and you'll hear more from us.
No doubt you're waiting on the big announcement, right? So the team will meet, and I'm sure that you will be well informed shortly in terms of any other announcements that we'll make. As you mentioned before, the 76-person Congress have a lot of work to do in the next 4 years, and they will be making announcements from time to time. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for staying tuned with us and joining us here as we conclude Elections 2011. Thank you very much.